I can really recognize some things you're talking about today, um, about these different kinds of shifts.
Yeah,
Um, well, at least the more like the intellectual kind. I think I had that just this understanding and realizing these different perspectives or something. Mm, and lately, it's also more clear that what is the I am and just it seems to be more available or something.
mm,
And and sometimes there's more residing in it
yeah,
also.
yeah. So,
Uh,
so that comes, I would assume, from it's like you're going from the head to the heart. You know, the more that you become. So, and in order for that to happen, there's been release. You know, there's been a release from your seeking patterns to an extent.
yeah,
So there's been more acceptance and incorporation of the body on the body level.
yeah.
So I didn't
And
mean to interrupt you.
you know, um, it's really like that, and it's funny about the seeking, and then as you said, when you talk about the caffeine, I feel totally um like it's also my topic, like this feeling the need of energy somehow, and then it's like I just want to eat lots of chocolate, and I feel like I can't, I don't have any saying in it. It's like, why do I need it? But it's just there, this need somehow. Yeah. So and also with others, sometimes it's easy to recognize the seeking. Um, yeah, but
Like
what to
others,
do?
like with others, it's easier to recognize the seeking in you or the seeking in them.
Um, both,
Yeah.
both. Yeah,
I mean, in the end, it's the same movement. Like other people's seeking is your seeking because who are you and who are they? Whatever is appearing in your consciousness is you. Like, so they're,
yeah,
like my partner was saying the other day, such, he's saying, like, it's all in the film. So you is in the film, and they are in the film.
yeah,
And what you are is the watching of the film. And you also are the whole entire film. So,
yeah. Funny like that. Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, that's just amazing. And also when you talk about just this um like this passion for sharing, but not in a way like to tell somebody about it, but just like this feeling like I want to share it somehow. Like I just wanna talk about it or something. Or um it's pretty nice. Like, but it's also like a challenge to stay in that compassionate way of just talking about it without getting sucked into trying to change somebody or whatever. Like
yeah.
to have like some kind of intention behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because the subject can be very emotive. So it can create a lot of emotions in the person that you're speaking to about, or they can just be bored. But if they
Mm.
actually begin to listen, then they can get very emotive. And so then to resist the temptation to try to fix or try to soothe that, you know, to allow them to have their reaction to it.
Yeah. And also not getting triggered yourself by that reaction. It's like
Yeah,
such a challenge, and
yeah,
yeah, but it's somehow, yeah, somehow happening sometimes. And I had one topic. I maybe we can talk about it a little bit, and then
yeah,
it's because I have some connection to a woman lately, and she also has a lot of awareness, I would say, and about these topics and everything, but it's still like somehow the personalities get to know each other, and it's a little bit like I yeah, it's I have a little bit I want to stay with myself and this path, this seeming path. I mean, it's and still explore that, you know. And at the same time, it's a little bit like I feel, oh, I hope it's not preventing me somehow to go my way, you know. So
Yeah,
it's a little bit like that, and yeah, maybe you have
yeah.
some idea about it.
I feel like once you step into the river of awakening, which you have,
Mm,
then everything that appears is there to destroy illusion.
mm,
So you might think that she's there
mm,
to give you pleasure or to give you company or to take away loneliness or very pleasurable, but really she's there to take away illusion. So when you see her with the right eyes, when you see life with the right eyes, you'll see that there's only one thing that's happening for everybody really, but particularly those that have stepped into awakening, is that they're going towards the ocean. So relationships
mm,
are really great
mm,
at showing illusion. They can be so triggering
mm,
because you've got these two different body minds that come together, and then we've got a society that has a very conditioned idea of what that looks like and what that has to be, what a relationship has to be, and then you have to compromise to create a life together, and you have to
mm.
communicate around the habits and the conditions and the traumas of each individual. It takes such
Yeah.
skill to remain open to the other person. It takes to not begin to shut down. I feel like a lot of people that aren't into this subject particularly, like they they sort of shut themselves down more and more, even though that is their perfect journey to awakening. Like they cannot cope with the radical honesty that's needed in relationship. They cannot cope with their partner's radical honesty or their radical honesty. So they
Mm,
begin to close down to the other person, and they begin to not show themselves. And as you begin to not show yourself, then you can't truly love them. You can only love them in a, like in this openness. And and so, once you do this, once you stepped into the river of awakening and you're committed to this path, then it's a phenomenal exploration of what closes you down. Because naturally your commitment will be to open and expand. Ultimately, those in society that close down, that's their perfect path. But because everything is perfect in the end, it's keeping the heart open, like in every instant, a commitment to seeing them as beyond their personality structure. And the only way that you can do that is by totally and utterly accepting your personality structure and their personality structure. Totally accepting their darkness as well as their light, just like your darkness and your light. And all of us have the darkness and the light, including myself. Like it's nobody's excluded from that. And just in the very nature of being alive, we destroy. And in the very nature of my clothes being made, I destroy. In the very nature of eating, I destroy. But it's not just that, it's also in relationship. By the very nature of, say for myself, I like the kitchen to be clean. In that very nature, to like, even with living with someone, to like the kitchen to be clean, there is a rejection of the partner's messiness. And there's nothing wrong with that, liking the kitchen to be clean or liking it to be dirty, but it's an acceptance of that, and an acceptance that your way isn't right. That their dirtiness in the end is as welcome as anything. But can I just say, because my partner will most probably listen to this, I'm considered the dirty one in our relationship. But just so to be honest, just so he doesn't feel like I'm like making out I'm so sort of clean. I mean, I consider myself a clean one, but I've had it pointed out, and I understand that I'm the dirty one.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's all about the definition and
Yeah,
about the moment,
yeah,
but it's still like how it appears. And
yeah,
then if you stay really aware, and then you can feel it, like
yeah,
when is it the inside taking over, like
yeah,
judging
yeah,
or leaving a plate there, and it's like yeah, it's just these all kinds of dynamics happening
yeah,
then, and then you feel like, oh, I want to clean it, or I don't want to clean it, and
yeah.
yeah, and
And it's just
so
saying so totally open to that and mentally flexible. Like, so, which the mental flexibility is like part of this, like part of Jnana Yoga is mental flexibility. So if they leave the plate there, so it's me leaving the plate there because I'm the dirty one. But yeah, if they leave the plate there, it's not an assault against you. You know, this is the flexibility. It doesn't mean that you don't ask them to clean it and you don't point out that they said they would clean it and not to leave it there. But they're not doing something against you. They're a movement of the divine. And this is where it's like staying open. It doesn't mean that you don't have arguments about it, but it's totally saying internally open to it all. That there isn't this right or wrong party. And it's not about getting to right or wrong, it's getting to a harmony with each other. Like, that's what communication is about, is to finding your harmony. And this commitment to expanding, this commitment to honesty, the commitment to really saying how you feel and not hiding yourself, even if that includes like a grumpiness because a plate was left out, which we can all see as like a silliness, but it's not a silliness if that's what's appearing. It's like the silliness is just hiding that. And the silliness
yeah.
is the other one feeling offended about that. There's nothing to be offended about in these conversations, because whose is whose. There's not a right person or a wrong one. I'm not the wrong one for being dirty or clean, or they're the wrong one for being dirty or clean. It is what is. And our nature is so often in the human level is to be like, you're the wrong one, I'm the right one. Who is wrong or right? There's this dance happening, and it's like total in loveness with both. With the stubbornness of one, with the rejection of the other. It's like totally not looking for the right or wrong. It's just this openness to explore and to see, and that's the same openness that we take with ourselves and our own mind. There's nothing to reject here. It's all an act of God. We don't need to be offended by ourselves. But if that happens, like offense by ourselves, it's like total openness to that on every level. There's nothing which isn't God. It's really falling back in love with yourself and with the other. And that comes from this commitment to this moment, to really seeing what you are in this moment, which is no thing and all things. And then that creates a lack of attachment to the personality and to the outcomes. I must assert my power. I must be seen as good by the other. This is actually all you truly want, is to know yourself, is, as Nisargadatta would say, is for consciousness to meet beingness. That's all you really want, is presence. Really recognizing that.
Beautifully said.
And even in this conversation, so even though I might have said things that you already know, it's like, and you can say that to me, I'm totally open to someone saying, I already know this, Lisa, can we try a different angle? But it's there's also another part which can just see the divinity of the outside expressing what you already know and loving that. So it's like there's nothing to protect. You don't need to be seen as knowing. I'm not saying you felt that, I'm just saying it for other people, if you're like, yeah, I already know this. Or it's like the divinity of seeing your human knowing, the intellectual knowing, expressed on the outside. They're really enjoying that. You don't need to be knowing, you don't need to be seen as someone that knows something.
Yeah, that's really can just give a lot of peace that to be with that, even if it is known, and see it's just an expression.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, the other day I went for a massage, and the woman I went for a massage with, she most probably massages people that aren't into spirituality at all. So she started giving me basic talking about spirituality, and I went to say something. Like I went to say, not, and then she was so excited about the expression. I kind of just surrendered to, her idea of me, and then I just kind of like really fell in love with her excitement and passion about the subject.
Beautiful.
And it wasn't so much about like what she was teaching me, because I heard that maybe like thousands of times. It was just like seeing the beauty in her appreciation of expressing it. Like she was so excited and joyful, and we kind of like had this love affair in that moment. Like I kind of like maybe she felt like I was trying to defend something, and then I kind of realized it wasn't the time to speak, and I let go of that. And then I just so fell in love with her joy of it. And then I think she kind of fell in love with me, falling in love with her. We kind of had this like real love affair. And then we had this like phenomenal massage. Like it was so beautiful. Yeah. It was really...
Yeah, just like switching to be a room, to become somehow the room where it's being expressed, and just letting that flow. What's coming out. And I know that sometimes, because I'm also have this energy, then somebody is saying something and I feel already that energy, I want to say something, but then to really be with it and just let it flow, it's so amazing when you can do that. You can really let go. That is equally precious, to just be there. And
you kind of then can become their words speaking. So you're kind of their words speaking. It's not like them speaking to you. You're kind of their words speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's really nice skill. Right. Well, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, G. Yeah, really beautiful conversation.
Yeah. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.